Hi guys, welcome to the Carp Tank series. I've decided to put a mini series together over the forthcoming weeks with the help of my trusty little fish tank here, because I've got a real interest in how my rigs work under the water, how they look, how they're presented, how they react. I also want to know about baits. I want to know what's the best bait. I want to make sure that the pop-ups are staying buoyant throughout the term of my session. I want to see if there's any sort of advantages I can pick up from really studying how the bait and rigs work in the scenario. So over the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be testing rigs, I'm going to be testing some PVA systems, I'm going to be testing lots of baits. So I'm going to go with high-end baits, low-end baits to see if there's any difference. I want to also test my pop-ups. That's a major thing for buoyancy. If I'm fishing in weedy situations, I want to make sure that my bait's out there for sort of 24 hours, that it's going to be doing what it needs to do. So I'm going to make a start today from Baitworks. Baitworks, very local company to me. They are all over social media nowadays. They are huge. They have been catching some amazing fish. So I've been using the Creamino range, which is one of their latest flavours to come out, and I've had some really good results on it. But it's not the only flavour in their range. So I popped over, I picked up a few samples of the other options they do. Now these are the shelf life options. So what I'm going to do is pop them in the tank. Right, so flavours we've got today are the Royal Marine, Creamino, Atlantic Heat and Monster Red. So let's get them popped in. Just going to put 3 of each in. Oh, they've got a very sort of fishy smell. This is the Royal Marine. Yeah, they definitely have a marine life smell to them. So let's get these popped in. Right, so that's the Royal Marine on your left. Then we've got some Atlantic Heat. Another little sample pack. Well, they've got a strange taste, that one, or strange smell. Can't figure that one out. So next in line is Atlantic Heat. Bit of a darker boilie, these ones. Now, the one I've been using a lot of recently is the Creamino. Very sweet smelling bait, this one. I do like this one. Sort of in between the two colours, actual fact. So let's pop them in there. Sort of centre right. Them ones there. And then finally, Monster Red. Oh yeah, they've got a lovely smell to them, they have. Very nice deep red colour. I'll pop these in over here. So that's the Monster Red on the end. I'll put them a bit closer. Right, that's 3 boilies of each bait. They are sort of 15mm. These are the shelf life boilies, so we'll leave them in there for a little while. I'll come back in sort of 6 hours, see how they're getting on. Right, it's now been 6 hours since the baits went into the tank, so let's have a look how it's getting on. Now you notice straight away the Monster Red is leaking loads and loads of pink juice or red juice around, staying in the tank. Now the other baits, not so much, but they are starting to break down and crack, take on water. I'm not sure if you can see, but the seeds are starting to sort of pop off and come out, where they are starting to break down. A few cracks are starting to sort of develop now. So let's get one each out and see how they're getting on. Right, let's get a monster red out first. Still pretty firm. Starting to sort of break up a little bit. Sort of seeds have started to show, but it's still really firm. Obviously it's lost a lot of its colour, which is what's all over the tank. It's got a good few hours left. And now we have the Creamino. Now this one's starting to break up a lot more. Still really firm, still holding shape very well. Seeds are starting to sort of fleck off at the moment, but that's still also really firm. And now Atlantic Heat. Right, that one's starting to sort of chip off a lot more than the other two. You can see the seed popping through here. But that, again, that is really firm still. That's taking its shape. That's got quite a while to go yet. And then finally, the Royal Marine. Oh, this one's actually already cracked open. Get it out. Yeah, so this one's broken up the most. Still firm, but this is actually cracked in half. You can see the seed popping through here. That's actually broken down the most out of all four. So that is definitely the softer one of the four at the moment. Right, what we'll do now, we'll leave these in here and we'll come back in the morning. Morning, right, so the baits have now been in the water for 15 hours. It's Monday morning, so I've got to get on because I've got to go to work. So let's have a look how they're getting on. Right, for starters then, the Monster Red. As you can see, the mist has come all across the tank now. It's started to lose a bit of colour, so I'm thinking that's probably from these baits, blending it up. Right, so the Monster Red. That is actually still really firm. That's almost sort of rubbery, in fact. It will split with a little bit of pressure, but that's still actually really firm. Now the Creamino. Oh, this one's actually breaking up a lot more. Yeah, this one's a bit spongy, a bit soft, but that doesn't take much to break up at all actually, so that'll be nice and soft. Right, next one we have the Atlantic Heat. Right, now that's interesting. This is like a sort of a flower bulb sprouting new shoots. Yeah, that's really soft. Well, that still smells good though. Still got a lot of smell in there. But yeah, that crumbles up really easy actually. And then finally, we've got the Royal Marine. This is not the one that was split, so this is a new one. Well, that's actually firmer than I thought it was going to be. Just got a bit of a hard skin around all of the boilies actually, but they do crumble with a little bit of force. So let's have a look at that other one. Now this is the one that sort of split fairly early on. As you can see, that just falls apart. Right, so all nice and soft, easily edible, easily digestible. Obviously with the elements of the water and the wind and other fish picking at these, they will actually break down a lot quicker actually out on the lake. So, right, there we have it guys. That is the Carp Tank Test with Baitworks. The sort of 15mm shelf life boilies. And what have I learnt? That Monster Red kicking out all of that scent, clouded up the whole of the bottom of the tank. Now out in the lake, on the bottom of the lake, that scent's going to get pushed around the lake with all the undertow and any chop in the water. So that'll rise up through the water column, and then the fish will home in on that and then follow that down and hopefully guide them towards your bait or towards your spot. So really interesting to see. And I love the colour. Nice red colour. So that was good. The other thing I'm surprised about, which I like, is the Royal Marine and the Atlantic Heat. Now what I noticed is they sort of crumble down quicker than usual, quicker than other baits I've been using. Now we're all used to sort of pre-soaking our baits and washing them out from the night before. These baits, they seem to do that for you. Maybe an hour in the bucket, 2 hours before they go out, but they crumble down a lot quicker. Now when they're breaking down, that means that the scent's coming out, they're going to be easily digestible and the fish can move on. So I really like them. I'm gonna sort of start using them in the not too distant future, so excited to see what they bring. And the Creamino, I've been using that for a little while now. I know that works, it's tried and tested. I am happy with that bait, but I do like change. I want to move over to maybe a fish meal bait, so I'll be doing that next, I think. Please, if you have any sort of baits that you use, any sort of trusted ones, anything that you sort of go-to bait, leave it in the comments. Let me know what it is. Might find something out. I'd like to give them a test, chuck them in the tank. Or if there's a bait you've seen in the shop or maybe online that you haven't tried yet, let me know. Pop it in the comments also. And once again, I'll chuck them in the tank. We'll see how they perform. Better still, we'll get them out on the bank as well. See if we can catch any more carp. Right, thanks for watching the video, really appreciate it. If you like the content, you like the video, please subscribe, hit the bell notification so you don't miss any more of the videos. And I'll see you next time.